Welcome to the Tripod Sports Podcast. My name is Castle, and with me are Catman and Chappers. All right, we're in this weird time where the NFL isn't happening, the NBA is not really that exciting, the Olympics are over, NASCAR is happening, but that's kind of a shit show as well. What else is going on, guys?
The NBA is like starting to wind up for a final season push, but we're not really there yet. So it's like coasting.
Right.
The NHL is sort of in a similar spot.
Right.
So yeah, we're just in that like weird spot.
Well, let's kick it off with the some NFL action at least. Jeff Triplett and Ed Hockley are retiring as refs. All right, Chappers, what do you think about the retirement of Triplett and Hockley? Because I know you like the NFL refs.
I'm not super attached to either one of them. I'm gonna miss those biceps, but we still have Steratore and Vinovich, so that's all that matters.
Well, we're getting Hockley's son coming into the league as well. He just got promoted to a head ref position.
Is Hockley's son Jack too?
Not as jacked as his father, but I have a feeling he has a reputation to uphold. We'll see him when he hits the field in September.
Better hit the gym, bro.
He's still got time. He's still got time to build those biceps up.
Yeah. He does. Other NFL action, the Combine is happening right now. Oklahoma tackle Orlando Brown getting hollered at between drills for not hustling by the coaching staff there at the Combine. How do they pick the coaching staff that represents teams at the Combine? Do we know?
I'm not sure. I think there's volunteers, and then I think it's mostly volunteers. I'm not sure.
Well, the Orlando Brown though getting hollered at and at drills and thrown I think it was a 5.85 40, which is the fifth slowest 40 time since 2000. Random stat of the day. His draft stock has fallen. He was a perceived first rounder. He's now looking to be available on day 3.
Huh.
Ouch.
That's a stiff
sucks.
fall. And it looks like the Steelers are going to franchise tag Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. See how that works out for him.
No surprise there.
Yeah, not
didn't
surprising.
He say he just wasn't going to play if he got
He
franchised?
said he would contemplate retirement if he was tagged again. But he also released a statement this has been swirling for like 2 days. Bell even made a statement that I think like a day or two ago that they were going to tag him, and he said all of his options are on the table, and that but he didn't say anything about retiring right now, but he said he'd have to make a decision when the time came.
Can I just be frank with, I don't know, Le'Veon Bell's not listening, but cut the shit, man. I know you're trying to negotiate, but you're not walking away from $15 million.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't know, man. I never know with NFL players, to be honest with you. Crazier things have happened in the NFL.
Sure, but a lot of the early retirements are guys that either A, wouldn't have really scored huge next contracts, or B, had already amassed enough money to walk away. And it's not that he hasn't made a lot of money, but he was playing basically on his rookie contract.
Also,
yeah, and he's in his prime, and he hasn't really gotten a big contract. I mean, he's made millions, but he could probably make, I'd have to go look at it, but he'd probably make close to as much this year as he's made for his entire first few seasons of his career.
Right.
Yeah.
And he could show up and half-ass it and be out of the league next year, but he's still $15 million richer.
Right.
Don't act like you're not going to show up.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll probably try and dog it throughout camp, to leverage himself, but once he starts...
Oh, go ahead.
I can see this saga playing out throughout training camp, but once he starts missing paychecks, he's going to be there.
Yeah. That's the only way you look at this, right?
Yep.
You're an idiot for walking away from $15 million.
he like, well, he is an idiot, but
I mean, yeah, it's like I think it'd be stupid to walk away. I don't know.
I don't buy that he's actually thinking about walking away. I think he's trying to bluff, and it's a horrible bluff.
Well, it doesn't matter now. They
believes him.
tagged him, so it's not like anything that he said even matters now. He can keep bitching all he would like to.
Right, but he's trying to leverage himself a better deal.
Right.
Like, he's trying to leverage himself a long-term contract that's worth more money or more years.
Right.
More specifically.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
See that Archie is making an appearance on the podcast.
Yep, he sure is. He just wanted to make his opinion known about Le'Veon Bell. He's very upset, as you can hear.
Let's move on. One thing, positive thing, I think, here. NFL salary cap was released. When was this, Chappers? Today?
I didn't even hear about it, to be honest with you.
All right,
It's a
so
long day at work.
177,200,000 is the new salary cap. With the rollover rules, the Browns and the Niners have more cap room than any other team.
Fuck.
Browns have a
Yeah.
2018 cap of 236 million. Niners have a 2018 cap of over 233.
So, was that higher or lower than expected? Or
That's
about
way
the same?
higher.
It was higher than they expected it to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, the Browns are getting close, are kind of, like, encroaching on that, like, I think it's over a 5-year period now where you actually get docked draft picks if you end up below the salary floor for, like, a 5-year period.
Okay.
I think they might be close to that territory given this, and so I would think the Browns are just going to throw money at shit this offseason. Like, even if it's stuff that they don't really want or need.
Just start trading to get pieces.
Well, like, for instance, like, they're going for a backup quarterback, or they're going for a quarterback right now, like, in the draft. But, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just chucked a bunch of money at Kirk Cousins. Or, like...
Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah, take a shot in the dark here.
Because
Well,
they
that's
can
gonna-
afford to pay him way more than anyone else. Like, and the only other team that has nearly the cap space they do is the 49ers, and they don't want him because they have Garoppolo.
Can't the
so.
Jets pay him a very large amount of money as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
really,
Jets,
like,
Jets
close.
are the next closest, I think.
Okay.
I think the issue
Just
with
get
Cousins-
Baker Mayfield with the first pick, and then you don't have to worry about paying Kirk Cousins all that
Oh
money.
my god.
You'll put asses in seats.
Or, like, even something like...
Didn't you Browns learn from Browns fans learn from the last Big 12 product you drafted?
This is different.
I mean,
Technically, he was SEC at that point,
That's
wasn't
true.
he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah. Don't take
don't-
credit for that shitty conference.
I don't
You don't have to.
disagree that he's different, but he's still going to be a bust.
No, I'm kidding. I just like to... I say it ironically, but, like, 35% of me thinks that it's just not outside the realm of possibility because who knows?
Because it's the Browns?
Yeah, but, like, I really do firmly believe that their front office has gotten smarter. I think they really showed us last year that they were a different Browns with most of their picks.
And then they fired the GM.
Yeah, but still. I mean, I think they're fine. I don't think they're going to do anything stupid. I think they're going to continue to progress.
I really think that they're going to end up going for, like, Josh Allen first pick.
McShay
And then,
keeps picking Darnold. And I don't get why. Because Darnold has said multiple times he doesn't want to go there. So
Right.
why would you
Yeah.
draft a guy that doesn't want to go there?
and that's a good point. And I don't think Darnold is better than it. Like, Josh Allen. He might
No,
be
he
better
has a
now.
soft, shitty body.
Yeah. I mean, he might be better now.
He does.
but like, if you're the Browns, you don't care if he's better now. You want him to be better in 3 years.
Yeah, and
Like, you want the guy with the high ceiling. You want Josh Allen. You want Carson Wentz 2.0. That's what they want. I'm not saying he's going to be Carson Wentz 2.0, but, like, he has the potential to be, so why would you not go for that?
Right.
I wholeheartedly agree. I don't think it makes any sense to do anyone other than Josh Allen. And now, though, Saquon's in the mix here at number 1 in some drafts.
If they could be, drafting Sam Darnold would be dumb. Drafting Saquon Barkley would be like probably the stupidest thing that they've ever done, and that's coming from the team that drafted Johnny Manziel in the first round.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I think, like, we talked a little bit about this over the weekend, and I have some friends that really, really are firm believers in Saquon, which I have no problem with. I think it makes a lot of sense. The guy has the potential to be one of those really good all-around running backs that can hurt you in so many different ways. But, like, we questioned when Ezekiel Elliott was picked 3 overall.
Yeah.
And I don't think Saquon is as good as him.
And that was to a team that already was
dominant.
I mean, they were already pretty set at the, like, major positions.
Right, exactly.
So they weren't in a position where they had to get a quarterback. Yeah, they ended up with Dak Prescott. But at the time, you were thinking Tony Romo was playing for another 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Plus, I mean, the good quarterbacks in the draft were gone at that point.
Right.
And it still didn't really make all that much sense.
Yeah. And I just, there's no way he's going to be there at 4. I think picking him later on makes more sense, but, like,
He could be there at 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I
maybe
wouldn't bet on it, but
yeah, exactly.
He could certainly be there at 4. I don't know
don't
if
think
you'd
it's
even want to
likely.
get him at 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think it again, then it depends who's on the board. I mean, if Chubb's already been taken, if there's, I don't know what, I mean, the Browns kind of need everything, so I don't know how good of an offensive lineman draft this is. I have no idea.
If Chubb is off the board, I would consider it. But if it's Bradley Chubb or Saquon Barkley, I take Bradley Chubb every time. They would have the most dominant defense in the NFL in a few years.
Right.
The defensive line, I should say. Not
Yeah.
necessarily defense, but...
Yeah,
Right.
they'd be monsters.
Shaquem Griffin's good at running fast and lifting weights with one arm.
Yeah, that's been a great story this combine. Getting a little sick of it getting rammed down our throat, though. Just being honest.
You
I know
would say that.
I'm
You
just being
fucking
honest.
bigot. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I get it. It was a little much after like 3 days. Like, I don't even think Shaquem Griffin wants all the attention. I think he just wants to be a football player. Like, I don't think he wants to be the guy with one arm that benched 20 reps at the combine anymore.
Right.
If I had to guess. If it were me, I would just want to be a football player. Be like, yeah, I've been playing football my whole life. This is no different. It's just like, now I'm at the combine doing the same shit that I've always been doing.
I'm sure he'll be happy to get that advertising.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because they're going to have some kind of commercial, like Duracell's some shit. I don't know. Duracell powers his robotic arm or whatever. Fuck.
Does he have a robotic hand?
I don't know. I'm just making that
some
shit
sort
up.
of prosthesis.
I'm thinking
No.
Duracell did their thing for they like claim to be the official like hearing aid battery of that one deaf guy that like got charged with domestic abuse.
That one deaf guy. I mean, I agree. Like, I think that's, good press for him and good attention to be called, but like
especially coming into this draft, there wasn't any guarantee that he was even going to get drafted. So just having the attention generally, like he wasn't guaranteed a lot, like to make any money off of this. And now, like at least he's got some avenues to like milk that shit for all it's worth, even if he doesn't work out in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I would be thinking about. Might be a little bit more jaded than Catman.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'd just be like, I don't know. I got nothing.
All right. Let's move on. We're dragging here, guys. Let's do it.
There's not much to talk about, to be honest with you.
Well, let's talk this NASCAR real quick, and we'll be out. Catman and I were talking about we're getting back to short shows anyways, so...
we just need, like, what is it, March? We just need to start, because we got March Madness coming up, and then we got, like, the NBA and the NHL will start getting towards playoff time.
Yeah.
And we'll be in good shape.
So, question. Did we ever talk about the probe, the FBI, like, probe into college basketball?
We did not talk about it. We briefly discussed that a couple teams were named, but we said we would take a look at it and discuss it a little more in depth later.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have to necessarily discuss it, but I don't think we ever mentioned that Sean Miller is allegedly on a wiretap offering up $100,000 for a player.
Which the University of Arizona does not seem to give a flying fuck about, which is hilarious.
He's now denying it, which is just adorable.
They played the kid that night.
But he didn't coach.
He didn't coach, but they played the kid.
And now he's denying it all
and
together.
And now he's just like, yeah.
Why would you take the night off of coaching if you're just going to deny it?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe, yeah. More's going to come out. It always will. It's just kind of funny. Oh my God, it's the scandal that rocked basketball, and like 2 weeks later, he's still coaching. That kid's probably played every game.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell does it matter? Tom Izzo was apparently involved. I haven't heard a word about Tom Izzo doing anything.
Yeah. And that kid, I think it's eventually going to come down on, like, whoever's involved and whoever's, like, under investigation. Eventually, like, that's what's nice about this is that the FBI is involved, because, like, the NCAA isn't going to do jack shit about it. But, like, if the FBI indicts him, then now we have a story.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I did see that Rick Barnes said that he was informed after he left Texas when he got to Tennessee that one of his players was paid and that he considered it a done deal, and the phrasing on it was just awkward. A lot of coaches just seem to be trying to wiggle their way out of this.
Or just, protect
themselves, do something.
Yeah, basically pretend like it didn't happen.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay. What else do we want to talk about with the scandal? Chappers, any other talking points?
You're next, Calipari.
Dude, you say that, and I hope so, but, like, we've yet to, like, that guy has been potentially in trouble, like, 4 times, and still nothing's happened.
I'm just, I guess I'm just holding out hope that that justice is done.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's move on to NASCAR. Kevin Harvick won at Las Vegas. We're on to Phoenix this weekend. It's been it's been a weird NASCAR season so far.
It's been like, this does tend to happen the start of the year. You get all amped up for Daytona because, anything can happen at Daytona.
Right.
And then you get into these, like,
cookie cutter mile and a half.
Well, and, like, you get the same drivers that are always in the mix, like Brad and Harvick, always in the mix at Atlanta. Same guys in Vegas. And Phoenix too. Like this NASCAR Goes West thing that they've been doing, it's basically like the Kevin Harvick tour.
Right.
And it has been for like the past couple of seasons, I feel like. And none of us like Kevin Harvick, so it's kind of boring. And like these are tracks, again, this is the issue with some mile and a halves. It's the same thing we said last year. It's like Kyle Larson or Martin Truex is leading 3/4 of the fucking race. It's like there's no point in watching mile and a halves until like the last 10 laps. And sometimes the race is already over by then anyway.
Right.
Like Kevin Harvick's already 6 seconds up, so it doesn't really matter. So this is kind of that funk that I feel like we get into with NASCAR. And then, we get into Martinsville and Bristol and Richmond. And so you get the more exciting tracks as we kind of progress here. And Dover and the Tricky Triangle will be coming up soon after that. So we'll get there. We just got to kind of get through this lull.
Well, the lull has been pretty exciting this week. After that Harvick win, pictures came out. We saw him before the show started of Harvick's dented rear window. Bubble in the glass, it looks like it was done intentionally. Kevin, you had some pretty strong words about it.
Well, I mean, like, again, having seen a picture, I don't know. If it's true, and we'll find out tomorrow, then, that's like purposefully giving yourself an aerodynamic advantage by basically manipulating a component of the car, which
right.
is not okay. But yeah, I certainly don't think it's okay, and he should have pretty harsh punishment if that's the case. You can't. He's led like 350 laps of the past 590. Right. So if that's due to this sort of to a disadvantage or to an unfair advantage in any way, then you need fines. You need crew chiefs to be out races. You need points taken off, manufacturer points and championship points. So it's got to be pretty harsh.
Right. I just, I mentioned it before the program. We were pretty harsh on the Chase Elliott thing during the playoffs last year at the tape on the spoiler that created extra downforce. It sounds like you're willing to go pretty hard on him, on Kevin Harvick for this if this turns out it was intentional. Chappers, any feelings?
Nah.
He doesn't care.
I don't care. They all cheat.
God. They all cheat?
Probably.
We should ask Corey LaJoie if they all cheated.
He more or less said it. He's like, they're going to go all the way to the line and do whatever they can to get an advantage.
Until they get told they can't.
Right.
Okay. All right. Let's end it there. No predictions this week. We just have Phoenix to pick, and we know Harvick's going to win that.
Yeah, right.
We're coming soon, though. Next week, I assume we're doing a March Madness basketball tourney.
Yeah, we'll have to set up another bracket.
Hey, apparently they're not doing Selection Sunday anymore. They're just like releasing all the teams.
Oh,
That's
really?
fine. I was kind of over Selection Sunday.
God. What, you're over Selection Sunday?
Yeah, if it was in like a quarter of the amount of time that it's
I
in.
know, they do stretch it out. And, let's watch all these kids be devastated. And we know the answers and they don't know.
And I think like the last couple of years, somebody leaked it before they like did the show anyway. So everyone already knew.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
All right. With that, Chappers.
All right. Well, next week we're going to be starting our March Madness show. And for that, we're going to be setting up our bracket again. So join our challenge and try and beat us. And just like last year, the winner will get an ice cold Four Loko!
that ice cold Four Loko. That means, Troy, we owe you an ice cold Four Loko and your flag still. We have your flag. I promise I'll get it to you as soon as I remember to send it to you.